Welcome, folks. This is Tom O'Brien of TFNN. We go 5 days a week. We go 9 hours a day. We go 24 hours a day on the internet at TFNN.com. Always remember, folks, whatever you think about, you bring about. Whatever you focus on grows. Hope everyone's having a great day, safe day. It's a TGIF, folks. Let's make it a great one. Let's take a look at one of our 4 agreements. To master love, you have to practice love. The art of relationship is a whole mastery, and the only way to reach mastery is with practice. To master a relationship is therefore about action, not about attaining knowledge. Market-wise, let's take a look at it out here. We had the Dow down 29, NASDAQ off 4, S&P's off 2, gold contract up $7.10, trading at $1,324 an ounce. Silver up 16 cents at $21.84 an ounce. Platinum up $12 at $1,430 an ounce. Copper flat at $3.28 a pound. Light sweet crude off 51 cents, trading at $102.24. Bonds. 10-year bond up 4 ticks at 125.20. 30-year bond up 14 ticks at 133.05. King dollar down 16 ticks at 80.30. The euro is trading at 137. The yen is out there at 102.55. Our phone number is 877-927-6648. Give us a call, folks. Want to know what's going on in your world? In the world of the S&Ps, let's take a look at them. What do you have? It's a classic, folks. It's an absolute classic. So we're going to go all the way back to basically the first high that was out there going December 26th. Cash S&P, what does it do? Gets to 1842, gets higher 2 days later, 1849. Stays sideways for like 3 weeks, okay? After 3 weeks, what does it do? It comes down off those highs. We go from a price point on the cash S&P from 1850 straight down to 1737. Downward volume, big volume. We march all the way back up. On Tuesday, we got to 1847.50. And that 1847.50, you talk about trying to get into the last 2 highs, just couldn't do it, but try. Guess what? Today, same deal, try, couldn't handle it. This is the beginning of coming back down to the 1737. If we take a look at the SPY, what you're going to see in the SPY, same type of setup. Each and every day, however, volume was dying on the vine. The SPY, when the SPY first got up there, was 86 million shares. Then she got up there with 98 million shares. Then she almost got to the highs of 126 million. This deal on Wednesday was the screamer, folks. And this is what it was. You got a slight expansion of volume. Not as much as you needed, but you got the expansion of volume. And guess what? There's still more sellers than buyers. Today it was testing that level. Tested it with 113 versus 126. Couldn't handle it. Now, that's on the daily. You go back to the weekly, and the weeklies are absolute classics. The weeklies go like this. We come off those highs with 828 million and 880 million. What we did this week, including the day that we were closed, we're approximately at about 510 million. And it failed. Goes over the price, couldn't hold price, closes underneath it for the daily, closes underneath it for the weekly. That sets up coming back down the other side. Dow Industrials. We take a look at the Dow. What the Dow did is this. Dow really didn't try to make a run out here today. Well, I guess it tried to make a run slightly. The high was 191. We closed at 103. Bottom line, what the Dow has done is only gone up to ice. When the Dow had come off its highs of 16,588, got down to 15,340. So you're talking $1,100, right? Did the counter trend bounce? Now, the difference is that the Dow can still be a very large ABC structure on the way down, where the S&P right now is set up that it would go test this low. It could do an ABC inside it, but the bottom line is that the retracement was so large in the S&P that now you get a consolidation. But bottom line, you get 100 points down. NASDAQ Composite. Now, the Composite has been screaming also. The Composite and the Index 100 is what led the market higher. The Composite is still at highs. We're at 42.63. The high is 42.77. The NDX, that tested it, failed also. The NDX 100, however, is the screamer. And what I mean specifically, got to new highs, couldn't handle the highs, but this is what the NDX 100 is doing, has done, and I expect this is where the major failure comes in. When you take the NDX 100, folks, and you say, okay, what are you trying to do? We hit this level again today, and we closed underneath it. We've been closing underneath it every time it gets up to this level. It's 90.25 on the Qs. And 90.25 on the Qs was the swing point from October of 2000. That supply line there is vicious, folks. Okay, because you got to remember that supply line, what had happened is that the NASDAQ, of course, the last 6 weeks in the NASDAQ had gone from, well, it went up about 33% before it crashed. Bottom line, the high in the Qs are 120. When you look back, and we look back from December of 99, going all the way over to October of 2000, that's the supply line. Each and every time up there, hitting it, can't handle it. Right now, volume-wise, what it looks like is that it's going to be about 200 million shots. So as the NDX 100, or I'm using the Qs so everyone can look at them, as it stays under 90.25, that's a major failure. Gold contract. We go take a look at gold. What we have with gold is this. They couldn't smack gold down today, but bottom line, it doesn't have the volume to go higher either. We are at 1323.50. You do 100,000 contracts out here, and bottom line, what I expect you're going to see out here is that gold wants to basically pull back, and a pullback in gold can get you back into it can back in 1273 pretty easy. You come back with light volume. All that is doing is setting up a larger ABC structure on the way up. And what gold is doing, came off the lows, did everything it should have done. The equities did everything they should have done, meaning wide price spread, accelerated volume, ABC structures. They're coming into the April downdraft of 2013. That's where gold went down $200, folks. It's going to take 3, 4, 5 months of building cause, doing a few smaller ABCs in order to get through that supply line. Bond market. Now, this is where it's going to get really wild. So, we start with the 10-year first. What you have is this. This is a beautiful consolidation, and it looks to me like, let me tell you something, these things are ready to launch. And they're both large ABC structures on the way up. The A point on the 10-year is 122.24. The B is 126, so you get like $4. The C is 125, so you're talking a 129, 130 10-year bond. They have volume right now at the highs. The retracement has been minimal. So that's saying that, guess what? It's going to go after it. The B point, which in this case is 126.16. You get the volume, this thing's going to launch. Now, check this out. Because if, in fact, it's an ABC structure up, there's two different patterns inside here, and they're both wickedly bullish. The first one, you get the ABC structure on the way up. The second one, you just take from the highs to the lows, and that's saying, guess what? We got 131 coming at us. The ABC is 130. When you have two separate structures, the probability that you're going to go there goes up dramatically. The 30-year. 30-year had already taken out the highs. We launched over those highs 3 weeks ago. The 30-year and the 10-year, what they did today is that they rejected lower price, had lighter volume, and then finished at the top of their range. The swing point on the 30-year, folks, is 134.08. We're already at 133.04. This 30-year looks to me like we're going to go, let's see, 141. That's 141. When you put that together, when I put that together and I'm looking at the markets, that's telling me flat out that, guess what? Money's going to be rushing back into bonds. Why? Because our own S&P is going south. Apple's a classic. Apple is what's putting heavy weight on the NDX 100, can't move. Apple came up to its gap, couldn't handle the gap, comes off the gap with volume on the daily, with volume on the weekly. If you want to see another classic, IBM. IBM is going to start putting some pressure on the Dow Industrials. IBM had gap down the 21st to the 22nd. That gap, the top of the gap is 186.79. IBM had traded down to 172, got all the way back to 185.65. Couldn't handle it. Guess what? Comes off that, has juice behind the move. We're going south, baby. You stay right there. Our man, Mr. Dave White's coming back with us. We're going to be talking technology. Dow finished down 29, NASDAQ off 4, S&P's off 2.5. King Dollar, folks, is trading at 80.30. She is going to be making her way up to the 81.50 mark. We'll be right back.